I am pissed off right now. I am royally pissed off right now for what the UFC just did to Martin Buday. They just released him. He's gone. They just tossed him out like he was some garbage. And they've been doing this to a lot of heavyweight fighters. They've done this to Rodrigo Nascimento. They've done this to Alexander Romanov. They've done this to Jairzinho Rosenstrike. That was bad. I'm not like, yes, Rosenstrike had a bad performance against Pavlovich, but why'd they get him out? Heavyweight is so scarce right now and dry. They need all the people that they can get. The more matchups, the better. And Martin Buday, look, he's done everything right. He has won 7 fights in the UFC and lost 1. And the one fight that he did lose was against Shamil Gaziev, the GOAT himself, the Dagestani diabetic. Okay, I made Shamil Gaziev my profile picture for a reason. All these other fights, he fights in the Contender Series, wins, then he gets signed on. Chris Barnett, god tier fighter. Lucas Brzeski, garbage. Jay Collier, garbage. Josh Parisian, garbage, but still a fat fuck from West Virginia. Those West Virginia Appalachian boys, they know how to be tough, man. I'll tell you that. Andrei Arlovsky, Uran Saltibaliev, and then he just recently beat Marcus Buchecha. And the thing is that Marcus Buchecha, that was his UFC debut. So you punish the guy that beats the guy who's debuting, and yet Marcus Buchecha is probably still in. They don't kick Marcus Buchecha. I know it's based on contracts. I know that they have to fulfill the contract obligations. I get that. But still, he's done everything good, and yet the UFC they just punish him. It's like, bye. We don't want you. And the thing is, let's look at the rankings, okay? He was ranked 12. The Derek Lewis fight made perfect sense. And Derek Lewis wants these types of fights. Derek Lewis has said multiple times, I just want to fight the fat cab drivers. I just want the easy fights. Just book that fight. Why the fuck would you not give him the Lewis fight? And look who's still on it. Tai fucking Tuivasa. He's still on the rankings, which he should have been cut a year and a half ago. They cut Rosenstrike over Tuivasa. They cut Romanov over Tuivasa, and now they cut Buday over Tuivasa. You know why they do that, right? Because the UFC rewards fighters that are entertaining over the fighters that actually win. Now, I'm not against that per se, right? Tuivasa's got personality. He does the shoeies. You know, if you follow him on social media, he's got some funny moments. Whereas Martin Buday, who knows anything about him? He doesn't have any personality, but he's winning fights. He's winning the fights that the UFC put in front of him. And I think that they were pissed off that Buchecha lost. Marcus Buchecha lost against Buday, and they were pissed off, so they punished Buday because of it. If Martin Buday came out there and brutally knocked out Buchecha in entertaining fashion, unfortunately, he probably would still be with us. Now look, he is everything that's wrong with the heavyweight division. He could be a middleweight. Look at his body. Look at this fat muffin top, this saggy, disgusting. Look at this flabbiness right here in his arm. I mean, that is atrocious. Okay? He could be a middleweight. But it's not like the UFC have any other options. This is the most shallowest division, and this should be the golden division. This should be the division that everybody should be entertained by. It's got the highest percentage of knockouts, right? If you're a heavyweight, you're more likely to get knocked out or do knockouts than you are in any other division because big men have bigger power. Who would have thunk? But they're just not getting good talent. They needed Buday in this. You don't punish people for winning. You punish people for losing. And they haven't punished Tai Tuivasa And how many fights has Tai Tuivasa lost? I think it's like 6 at this point. It's something crazy. It's like 6 or 5. Let's see real quick. It's 5. Look at this. Tai Tuivasa is still in the rankings. He loses to Cyril Gane, okay, no big deal. Loses to Pavlovich after taking that fight very fast, stupid on his part, no big deal. Lose to Volkov. At this point, when you're 3 in a row, lost, you're like, okay, if you lose one more, you're cut. He loses to Tybura. He should have been cut there. After the Tybura loss, he should have been cut. Then they book him against Rosenstrike. He loses that. A split decision. Should have been unanimous decision. That one judge, I don't know what he was thinking. And he's still not cut. He is still not cut after 5 losses. And yet they cut Martin Buday after a 3-fight win streak and a 7-1 record in the UFC. And he was climbing the rankings. The Derek Lewis fight was the next stop. And I think Derek Lewis does knock Martin Buday out, but let's still see it. We still have to see it. So yeah, Martin Buday. Yeah, it's true. Yesterday we got a call that UFC is not resigning us for the moment. Well, it is what it is. At least I'm leaving with my head up. Thank you. They don't want to see you win, champ. Dana White and Hunter, they don't want to see you win, Martin Buday. They want to see you lose. You were a true threat to the heavyweight division, and you probably could have put some heat on Tom Aspinall. You win, and you got punished. You did what you were meant to do. You beat Arlovsky. You beat Uransadi Baldiev. And then you beat Marcus Pachecha. You deserved to fight again. You deserved the Derek Lewis fight as a stepping stone. Or as a step up. He would have lost that fight probably. But we don't know. It's heavyweight. Maybe Lewis, Lewis is a loose cannon. It's 50-50 with Derek Lewis. But we wanted to see that fight. And we were robbed from it. And I am fucking pissed off. The UFC, they just keep doing this to the heavyweights. They don't really do this with the lower weight divisions as much. I don't know why heavyweight has to bear the burden of this, because it's the worst division right now. But yeah, this is just disappointing. Really, really disappointing. I was a Martin Buday fan. I enjoyed watching him fight. And now I have to cry because my whole week is ruined. Martin Buday, you deserve better. Peace out.